Good afternoon. Can I have you state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Connie Erikson, Erickson.
And Ms. Erikson, were you in the room earlier when I went
Yes.
through the penalties for perjury?
I was, yes,
And do you understand what perjury is?
I do.
And being advised of the potential penalties for perjury, do you promise to tell the truth in this case today?
So help me God.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jordy.
Ms. Erikson, do you own either directly or indirectly or have interest in land that would be affected by this potential pipeline?
I do, yes.
And just to orientate ourselves, help the commission understand where that land is located.
Well, it started out with one on 106th Street that was sold to a neighbor. It's title for deed. And that's how I became aware of this. And that was in April. Well, in June, I got another mailing, and I called up the neighbor, and I said, did you get a new update? He's like, no, they moved off my land. He goes, they're on yours to the east, which is on 106th Street. So that's when I started giving it to our attorney. And in June was when, I think his name's Dennis Saylor, came knocking to my door, asked if I would give authorization to survey the land. And I said, I don't think so. And he goes, well, just to let you know, if they want your land, they'll get it any way they want. And that was the only contact I had with them.
And
On 106th Street.
106th Street. And after that interaction with Summit's agent or employee, how did that make you feel?
I slept with my pistol on my chest again because my husband had recently passed, about 2 years before that.
And is that because of the attitude that was expressed by that Summit agent?
Yes, I was terrified.
And since
my son has since moved back home with me.
And since that time, have you had any further interaction with any Summit agent or employee?
No, and I can't say for sure, but I had signs up that I had made, and they disappeared. Well, I got new signs up now, and they're still up, so.
And were you sued by Summit for survey access? And was that an emotional and expensive process fighting them?
Yeah, it's cost money. We're renting this land out. It was my husband's love, and he taught me the love of the land. And he wanted it to continue, so we rent it out for now. But in 5 years I retire. That's my retirement.
And part of your husband's legacy and his promise to him was to maintain that land as the best steward as you can?
Yep. And I feel like I left him down, my in-laws down, my son.
And has Summit at any time approached you or sent anything to you via Mr. Leibel or I of brainstorming about any ideas and reroutes or how to help you out?
Nope.
What else concerns you about this?
Well, the one section they want, it's about a mile east of the last house on the housing development. And there's neighbors to the northeast and to the northwest. And then when you go further down 106th Street, I got neighbors that live right on that parcel. And the attorney I had before Mr. Jordy, he had called me up one day and he said, well, why don't you sign the easement? He said, we'll see what we can get you. And I said, life is more than money. I mean, how could I rightfully say, okay, give me this much money and I'll sign your easement and put my neighbor's life? I could never do that. There's more to a life than that. You can't put money on a life.
Do you have any understanding of why they're seeking a 99-year easement when it's 12 years of tax credits?
No, I came off of about 5 years of courts and paperwork with my father-in-law and my mother-in-law and then my husband. I don't even want to read anything anymore. I want to be left alone.
Ma'am, the emotional toll this has taken on you, would you agree that the approval of this proposed route is not in the welfare or the best interest of the welfare of the citizens of North Dakota?
Oh, yeah, it's not it's not in the best interest at all.
And do you believe it would be to an economic detriment to you and your future intention with your land?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your time.
Mr. Malberg, any questions?
No, thank you.
Mr. Pelham?
Mr. Erikson, I'm just wondering if you can be more specific as to where the land is at.
Let's see, the one section is 34T, 140, and R79 West. And the other one is 27.
27, 140.
And R79 West.
All right, thank you. I don't have any other questions for you.
Mr. Pranis, any questions?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bakke?
No questions.
Commissioner Chrisman?
I couldn't find this that fast, but so they're both in 140-79 West. You said section 27, and what was the other one?
One's 27, one's 34T. The 27 is the one where my neighbors live right on it. They bought my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house when they moved to town.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hagen-Hoffert?
I have no questions, but thank you for your testimony.
Mr. Dawson?
No questions. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Erikson.